there's a quiet clock ticking for more than 1 million Toyota RAV4 owners. If you drive a 2013 to 2018 model, you have until July 1st, 2025 to file for reimbursement on a battery defect linked to sudden power loss and, in rare cases, fires. Toyota denies wrongdoing, but the settlement is real, and the deadline is final. That headline cracked open an idea many drivers treat as gospel. Toyota never lets you down. For decades, the brand felt like a mechanical safety blanket. Pay a bit more upfront, skip the repair shop for years, but pull one loose thread and the pattern changes fast. Lexus, Toyota's own luxury sibling, has now outranked its parent for overall dependability, 3 years running in J.D. Power's industry audit. Toyota, still solid, is sliding to third. Dig a layer deeper, and the surprises keep piling up. Consumer Reports expects the 2025 Honda CR-V to be more reliable than the average new car, edging ahead of the RAV4 while undercutting it on price. Hyundai protects buyers with a warranty twice as long as Toyota's. Subaru logs fewer safety recalls, trimming insurance bills. Even Chevrolet, yes, Chevy, has models now beating imports in engine and infotainment scores. So here's what you and I are really shopping for in 2025. Staying power. Which brands still look bulletproof after 200,000 miles? True cost. Who sneaks hidden expenses into sensors, premiums, and financing? Future resale. What holds value when software, batteries, and liabilities age out? Over the next few minutes, we'll shred the old Toyota or bust mantra by spotlighting 7 rival marques now matching or outscoring the giant on reliability, value, or both. You'll get one standout model from each brand, backed by owner data, warranty math, and 5-year cost projections. Then, I'll reveal the single vehicle that right now gives the best shot at 250,000 miles with the fewest surprises. Stick around to the end, because choosing the right badge is only phase 1. We'll close with the post-purchase traps, inflated APR, exclusion-stuffed third-party warranties, and premium spikes after that first fender bender that quietly bleed thousands from even smart buyers. Sounds dramatic? Good. The auto market is moving quicker than a CVT under full throttle, and yesterday's truths are turning into today's bank balance leaks. If you've ever believed paying a Toyota premium was the safest play, buckle up. The numbers no longer agree. Ready to see who's rewriting the rulebook? Let's fire up the brand that learned Toyota's secrets, shaved off the extra costs, and built engines famous for coasting past 250,000 miles. Honda. Ever notice how Toyota fans like to brag about never seeing a mechanic? Honda owners do the same thing. They just spend less while they're at it. 2025 data backs them up. The new CR-V earns an 84 out of 100 predicted reliability score, edging past the RAV4's 80 out of 100 and taking the win in US News' latest head-to-head. But reliability is only half the story. Under the hood, Honda still leans on its VTEC wizardry. Simple cams, proven timing chains, and fewer turbo complications in high-volume trims. The result? Civics and Accords commonly breeze past 250,000 miles on routine oil changes, while owners report lower long-term parts costs than their Toyota counterparts. Meanwhile, real-world fuel efficiency keeps pace. A base 2025 Civic nets 36 miles per gallon combined, nudging out the comparable Corolla's 35 miles per gallon. Insurance actuaries have noticed too. Because CR-V bumper covers and radar sensors are cheaper to replace than the RAV4s, average annual premiums track about 5 to 8% lower in most U.S. zip codes. Factor in Honda's complimentary 2-year maintenance plan, and the math tightens even further. A typical owner can bank roughly $1,200 in the first 3 years, compared with a same-segment Toyota buyer. Add it up, and Honda hits a sweet spot for shoppers who want Toyota-level dependability without the brand tax, especially older buyers eyeing one last car to ride into the 6-figure miles club. Imagine buying a Toyota and quietly upgrading every critical component. Stronger steel in the frame, tighter panel gaps, wiring looms rated for twice the heat cycles, then handing the keys to an owner who keeps the car for 15 years. That, in essence, is Lexus. For 3 consecutive years, independent dependability audits have ranked Lexus ahead of every mass-market brand, including its parent company. The gap is widest in the categories mainstream buyers worry about most: infotainment glitches, hybrid system durability, and nagging electrical faults. How does the luxury badge pull it off? Start with manufacturing. Lexus plants run slower lines, give each chassis more inspection passes, and reject parts Toyota would simply rework. Add in top-shelf materials, softer plastics, denser sound deadening, corrosion-resistant fasteners, and you get cabins that stay rattle-free long after a comparable Camry starts buzzing. The dollars stack up fast. Take the ever-popular RX. It rides on the same basic architecture as the Toyota Highlander, yet 5-year resale projections show the Lexus holding 8 to 10% more of its original value. Over a decade, that difference roughly cancels out the higher sticker price, while owners report fewer dashboard warning light surprises. Even routine servicing isn't the wallet killer people expect. Lexus dealerships bundle complimentary maintenance for the first 2 years and rarely upsell repairs because the failure rate is already low. In short, Lexus doesn't just match Toyota's reliability myth. It refines it, packages it in quiet luxury, and then hands back change at trade-in time. But you don't need a luxury badge to beat Toyota anymore. Next, we'll see how an underdog brand weaponized the industry's best warranty, and why skipping it could cost you 10 grand in unnecessary repairs. Ask any veteran mechanic what usually kills a car after year 8, and you'll hear the same list. Failed transmissions, leaking head gaskets, and owners who refuse a $2,000 repair on a vehicle worth barely more. Hyundai knows the drill, so it flipped the script. Instead of pleading for trust, the company guarantees it, a 10-year, 100,000-mile powertrain pledge that doubles Toyota's coverage and still shames most rivals 5 model years later. That warranty isn't marketing glitter. It masks a deeper shift in engineering philosophy. Skip back a decade and Hyundais were punchlines about cheap plastics and mysterious check engine lights. Fast forward to 2025, and Consumer Reports predicts both the Sonata and Tucson will outlast the average new car, thanks to simpler 4-cylinder blocks, beltless CVT alternatives, and electrical systems designed to survive tropical humidity tests that would fry earlier generations. But Hyundai's real ambush is how much that reliability costs you, usually thousands less than a comparable Toyota. A mid-trim 2025 Sonata bundles heated seats, wireless CarPlay, adaptive cruise, and stop-and-go lane centering. Features you still pay extra to unlock on a Camry SE. Even with all that tech packed in, average MSRP undercuts Toyota by $2,000, and Hyundai rarely tacks on the dealer market adjustments that plague high-demand Japanese models. Throw in a basic 5-year, $60,000 bumper-to-bumper plan, again, nearly twice Toyota's. And the math tilts further. Numbers tell the story behind the showroom shine. Predicted reliability score: Tucson 85 out of 100 versus RAV 480 out of 100. US News 2025. 5-year maintenance cost. CR models it at $3,400 for Sonata, about $800 less than a Camry with similar mileage. Powertrain repairs inside warranty window. 0 out of pocket unless negligence is proven. Contrast that with Toyota's shorter safety net that ends right as big-ticket failures statistically begin. Even resale, once Hyundai's weak flank, is stiffening. A new Hyundai Promise certified used program extends roadside cover and an extra warranty year, nudging pre-owned values higher and protecting current owners from the classic cheap-to-buy, cheap-at-auction spiral. Critics point out a caveat. Hyundai still sits mid-pack in J.D. Power's 2025 dependability rankings, trailing Lexus, Mazda, and even Toyota, proof that the brand hasn't erased every early 2000s gremlin. But dependability deltas are now single-digit problems per 100 vehicles, not chasms. And when you stack those minor differences against an extra 5 years of factory protection, the risk equation flips in Hyundai's favor for budget-minded shoppers. For drivers who keep cars until the wheels wobble off, that warranty is a parachute. For older buyers on fixed incomes, it's a hedge against an unexpected $4,000 transmission bill. For tech-hungry commuters, it's proof you can have lane keeping, a panoramic roof, and an EPA-rated 50-plus MPG Sonata hybrid without mortgaging the house. But what if your daily commute looks more like a ski run or a muddy mountain switchback than a smooth interstate? That's where a brand famous for boxer engines and bulletproof all-wheel drive rewrites the durability playbook. Next up, Subaru, the rugged specialist that laughs at road salt and keeps premiums low by dodging recalls. Picture the road turning from summer asphalt to a slushy uphill zigzag overnight. Most crossovers answer with a part-time AD system that kicks in after the front wheels slip. Subaru's answer? Always on, symmetrical all-wheel drive. A perfectly mirrored drivetrain that balances power 50-50 the moment the tires touch snow, mud, or loose gravel. Independent durability tests credit that layout with fewer transfer case failures and longer CV joint life than the on-demand units used by many rivals. The payoff shows up in reliability charts. Consumer Reports predicts the 2025 Forester will be much more reliable than the average new car, topping the RAV4 in engine, transmission, and in-car electronics categories. Owners on CR's survey report fewer drivetrain warning lights and a near-zero rate of early differential leaks, issues that still plague some Toyota AE models. Then there's the recall scorecard. Through the first half of 2025, Subaru has logged only one federal safety recall, tying Mazda for the industry's lowest tally. Toyota has issued several, including a high-profile RAV4 battery terminal fix. Fewer recalls mean fewer dealer visits, less chance of downtime, and, here's the hidden gem, lower actuarial risk for insurers. Insurance math confirms it. Edmunds' 5-year cost of ownership tool pegs average Forester premiums at $3,496 versus $3,892 for a comparable RAV4, thanks largely to cheaper bumper covers and fewer sensor arrays vulnerable to low-speed fender benders. Reddit insurance agent threads echo the trend. Subaru's theft deterrent coating and smaller recall footprint drop many drivers 2 rate tiers below Toyota. Yet, Subaru doesn't chase flash. Step inside a Forester and you'll find hard-wearing water-repellent cloth, chunky climate knobs you can grip with gloves, and a roofline tall enough for a mountain bike standing upright. That utilitarian DNA keeps repair costs down. Panels pop off with hand tools, and replacement parts are shared across multiple models. Pair that with EPA ratings that rival front-wheel drive crossovers, 33 miles per gallon highway for the 2025 Forester, and you're looking at a snow boot warrior that sips fuel like a commuter hatchback. Critics sometimes ding Subaru for higher starting prices. Yes, the 2025 Forester's base MSRP runs roughly $1,500 above a RAV4 LE. But it isn't an add-on. It's baked into every trim. Factor the RAV4's optional upcharge, and the sticker delta shrinks to a few $100s. Money you win back in depreciation alone. U.S. News predicts 5-year resale retention of 52% for Forester versus 49% for RAV4, a gap worth roughly $900 on a $30,000 purchase. For drivers who keep cars until trail maps fade and odometers loop the clock, Subaru's recipe is hard to beat. Fewer recalls, lower insurance, and a drivetrain engineered for abuse. And because every Forester rolls out with EyeSight safety tech, adaptive cruise, lane centering, and pre-collision braking, standard, you're not stuck paying option packages just to match Toyota's feature sheet. Up next, elegance meets efficiency. We're trading snow boots for driving gloves as we dive into Mazda, the understated brand that turned simplified engineering into an art form, and now nips at Toyota's heels in both reliability and refinement. Slide behind the wheel of a Mazda CX-5, and nothing feels gimmicky. No distracting light shows, no touchscreen lag gymnastics, just a tight-turning chassis and a cabin stitched like a scaled-down German sports sedan. That back-to-basics vibe isn't nostalgia, it's strategy. Mazda's engineers trimmed electronic sprawl, kept naturally aspirated engines in mainstream trims, and routed most driver assist hardware through a single, easily replaceable camera module. Fewer gadgets mean fewer failure points, and the data is finally catching up with the philosophy. Reliability momentum. Consumer Reports expects the 2025 CX-5 to rate better than average, tapping 3 years of owner data that show declining engine and infotainment complaints. In J.D. Power's latest vehicle dependability study, Mazda jumped to second place in the mass market field, 1 slot ahead of Toyota, with just 161 problems per 100 vehicles. Driving dynamics without wallet drama, a base CX-5 2.5-liter sticks to a tried-and-true naturally aspirated block, skipping the delicate turbos that can hike repair bills. Even so, the chassis outcorners the RAV4 and CR-V in independent slalom tests, while sipping 31 miles per gallon highway. KBB pegs the 2025 entry price at $30,190, landing within $300 of a RAV4 LE once you spec Toyota's optional safety suite that Mazda includes up front. Controversy handled. Lesson learned. Yes, Mazda got scorched by a 2.5-liter turbo coolant intrusion lawsuit, affecting a small slice of CX5/6/9 owners. But instead of stonewalling, Mazda issued goodwill repairs and a beefier gasket design, dodging a recall while rewriting its own internal testing protocol. If anything, the saga nudged the brand deeper into its simplify, then bulletproof ethos. Turbo models get reinforced coolant passages, and naturally aspirated trims retain the simpler design customers already trust. What about resale? CarEdge's 5-year projection shows a CX-5 holding about 58% of its value, just a hair below RAV4, but ahead of Hyundai's Tucson and Ford's Escape. Solid ground for a brand once tagged depreciation heavy. And because interior plastics are harder and paint finishes thicker than mid-segment norms, high-mileage Mazdas still photograph clean for private party ads, critical in Cambodia's growing second-hand import market. Insurance and ownership math. With fewer radar modules hidden behind fragile bumpers, average premiums sit 4 to 6% below segment leaders, according to regional insurer data shared on r/Mazda. Put that beside Mazda's modest maintenance schedule, oil every 10K kilometers, plugs at 120K, and the spreadsheet savings approach Hyundai-like territory without the long warranty crutch. Mazda's ace in the hole, however, is feel. Reviewers keep repeating the same note. It drives like a class above. That subjective magic boosts owner satisfaction ratings, 5 out of 5 in CR's latest poll, and keeps buyers loyal. An intangible edge Toyota can't copy with software updates. Slide from a Toyota Venza into an Acura RDX, and the first surprise isn't the stitched leather, it's the price tag. A base 2025 RDX starts at $46,050, roughly $4,400 less than a similarly equipped Lexus RX, and still thousands under many high-spec Toyotas once you add the same tech. Yet Acura's discount doesn't mean gambling on dependability. Consumer Reports predicts the 2025 RDX will be more reliable than the average new car, drawing on 3 model years of owner data that show falling complaint rates in engines, electronics, and drivetrains. J.D. Power's owner-reported quality and reliability score backs that up. 81 out of 100, solidly in the great band for premium SUVs. Part of the secret is Honda DNA wrapped in upscale trim. Acura keeps its powertrains simple. No air suspension wizardry or fragile twin turbos in mainstream trims, then shields buyers with a warranty few luxury rivals match. 4 years, 50,000 miles bumper to bumper, and 6 years, 70,000 on the powertrain. That extra 2-year safety net kicks in right when many Lexus and Toyota warranties run out, covering the big-ticket failures most owners dread. Resale values tell the long game. IC Cars projects core Acura models to retain 55 to 58% of their original price after 5 years, a percentage that trails Lexus by only a point or two and handily beats mainstream brands like Nissan or Ford. Factor those dollars back into total cost of ownership, and the cheaper luxury narrative flips. Acura often nets the same or better cost per mile than a top-trim Toyota, while delivering quieter cabins, stronger engines, and thicker sound deadening. The trade-off? Insurance can run a notch higher than a comparable Honda, thanks to pricier body panels and LED headlights, though still below many Euro badges. Owners who bundle Honda Acura multi-car policies or shop regional insurers usually trim the gap within a year. Bottom line, Acura takes Honda's mechanical resilience, layers on near Lexus comfort, and undercuts both Toyota and Lexus on the final invoice, without asking you to gamble on a boutique startup badge. Next, we shift gears from premium polish to a comeback story out of Detroit, Chevy, where a few surprise models now beat imports on long-term cost and dealer incentives. If you still picture Chevy reliability as a punchline from the early 2000s, you're about to time travel. In J.D. Power's latest U.S. vehicle dependability study, Chevrolet tied for third among mass-market brands, just 27 problem points behind Toyota and neck with Mini. Even the once-derided Malibu now posts an 84 out of 100 quality and reliability subscore, slotting it solidly in the great band for midsize sedans. Why the sudden glow-up? 1. Fewer weak links, simpler fixes. GM engineers quietly retired troublesome Turbo 4s and streamlined electronic architectures, trimming the tiny gremlins that once torpedoed owner surveys. Parts, commonality across the Malibu, Equinox, and Blazer, slashes dealership repair times and parts prices. Second warranty that finally talks big. Every new Chevy still carries 5 years, 60,000 miles of powertrain coverage, and GM recently sweetened extended warranty pricing to undercut most third-party contracts, turning yesterday's liability into today's selling point. 3. Incentives you feel in the driveway, not the showroom. Dealer cash on 2025 Malibus routinely hits 2 to 3K, and GM Financial's sub-4% APR promos mean real savings on interest, especially if you walk in pre-approved and make them match. Real-world math price gap. A Malibu 2LT undercuts a Camry XLE by roughly $2,800 at MSRP, and that's before Chevy's usual rebates. Insurance. U.S. News shows slightly lower claim severity rates than Toyota's Camry, translating to $60 to $90 a year in premium savings for many zip codes. Resale. New 5-year projections peg Malibu retention at 47%, within striking distance of Camry's 50%. The delta shrinks to almost zero when you factor the lower upfront price. The fine print Consumer Reports still labels the 2025 Malibu below average in predicted reliability, citing brand-wide historic data rather than model-specific failures. Translation: survey memory lags behind engineering upgrades, so perception hasn't fully caught the rebound. But raw dependability scores and falling complaint volumes say the tide has already turned. Bottom line: Malibu isn't just the rental lot warrior of yesteryear. With stronger quality metrics, rabid incentives, and a cost of ownership curve that finally flattens, Chevy has muscled its way back into the smart buyer conversation, especially for drivers focused on monthly cash flow. If the last 7 brands reshuffled your shopping list, the 2025 Honda CR-V seals the deal. In a market overloaded with tech gimmicks and inflated MSRPs, the CR-V delivers the cleanest blend of long-range reliability, day-one value, and resale strength, earning it the top spot on our 2025 Smart Buy scoreboard. Reliability first. Consumer Reports predicts the 2025 CR-V will be more reliable than the average new car, a verdict built on defect data from 2023 to 2024, models and 8 generations of historically low engine failure rates. Owners praise the drivetrain's stamina, while road test editors note the SUV's smooth ride and efficient 1.5-liter turbo that still manages 31 miles per gallon highway in real-world testing. Value that survives 5 winters. CarEdge's depreciation tracker forecasts the CR-V to lose only approximately 33% of its value after 5 years. Better than most rivals and virtually tied with Toyota's vaunted RAV4. Kelley Blue Book backs that up, pegging a typical EXL's 5-year cost to own at around $50.5K, thanks to high resale, modest insurance, and below-segment maintenance costs. Sticker math favors Honda. Spec a base RAV4 with blind spot monitoring and adaptive cruise, and its price creeps within $300 of a CR-V. Yet, Honda already includes the full Honda Sensing Suite: collision mitigation braking, adaptive cruise, lane keep assist, road departure mitigation. Standard. That means buyers save roughly $1,000 to $1,500 on options and still walk away with stronger predicted reliability. Hidden cost blockers. Insurance agents on RCR-V report premiums 5 to 8% lower than comparable Toyotas, largely because bumper covers and radar units are cheaper to replace. And while Honda did issue a broad steering gear recall in late 2024, the repair is a one-time fix performed under warranty, no owner cost, minimal downtime. Why it wins: rock-solid mechanicals, industry-leading safety tech at no extra charge, fuel economy that rivals hybrids, and depreciation curves that keep wallets intact when it's time to sell. In short, the 2025 CR-V isn't just a safe bet. It's the rare vehicle that pays you back in both peace of mind and retained equity. But even the smartest purchase can go sideways after the handshake. From padded interest rates to exclusion-stuffed platinum warranties, the real money traps hide in finance offices and insurance quotes, waiting to claw back every dollar you just saved. In our next section, we expose those post-purchase pitfalls and show you how to dodge them. 1. Insurance shock, ADAS, sticker punch. Modern bumpers hide LiDAR, radar, and alignment cameras that add approximately $500 per claim just for sensor recalibration. Those repairs now appear in 26% of all insurance jobs, up from 5% in 2020. Average collision bills climbed to $4,721 in 2024, and carriers pass the hike straight into premiums. Skip the dealer quote. Shop 3 independents and ask how each model's sensor count affects rates before you sign. 2. Financing kickbacks. The silent APR tax dealers can legally mark up a lender's buy rate by 100 to 200 basis points, pocketing the spread. An MIT study on loan intermediation found that consumers who finance in-house pay $714 more, on average, than buyers who walk in pre-approved. Bring a credit union offer or an online pre-approval. Make the F&I manager beat it or walk. 3rd, warranty roulette. Coverage that vanishes when you need it. Third-party platinum plans look cheap until you read the exclusions. Wear items, sensors, and turbo seals. The very parts that fail. Class action attorneys note a rash of complaints over hidden fees and denied claims, labeling many sellers deceptive. Rule of thumb: if it's not manufacturer-backed, assume loopholes. Better to bank the premium in a high-yield account. 4. Depreciation and battery doom. Traditional engines lose value fast. EVs can nosedive if packs age out. Replacement batteries run $5,000 to $16,000 out of warranty. That risk feeds a bigger problem. 5. The debt treadmill. Negative equity nation. Long loans plus fast depreciation equals underwater owners. 39% of finance drivers carried negative equity at the end of 2024. For 84-month loans, the median shortfall was negative $8,485. Trade that car early and the balance rolls into your next note. Compounding interest on yesterday's mistake. How to dodge the traps. Insurance first, not last. Sensor counts matter more than horsepower. Arrive with financing in hand. Treat dealer loans as bids. Buy OEM warranties only. Or self-insure. Cap your loan at 60 months and aim to keep the vehicle 2 years past payoff to outrun depreciation. For EVs, demand a battery health report and verify remaining pack warranty. Even our overall champ, the Honda CR-V, can't shield you from bad financing or ballooning premiums. Master these post-purchase moves, and the savings you bank on day one stay in your pocket for years to come. Next, we'll wrap everything into one simple, step-by-step checklist so you can shop, finance, and insure like a pro while everyone else is still mesmerized by badge loyalty. For decades, the safest sentence in car shopping was, just get a Toyota. Today, that shortcut can leak cash faster than a worn head gasket because rivals have learned the reliability game, doubled the warranties, shaved insurance costs, and sometimes sell for thousands less. We've met 7 of them tonight. Honda for bulletproof value, Lexus for stealth luxury, Hyundai for its marathon warranty, Subaru for go-anywhere grit, Mazda for refined simplicity, Acura for cut-price premium, and even Chevrolet, now the comeback kid. And when we stacked every data point, recalls, owner surveys, 5-year cost projections, one model rose to the top, the 2025 Honda CR-V, a compact SUV that outfeatures, outsaves, and often outlasts the class leader it once chased. But remember, the car is only half the battle. Hidden APR markups, exclusion-stuffed warranties, and ADAS sensor repair bills can vaporize your good deal before the first oil change. So lock this 6-step checklist into your notes before you step onto any lot. Insurance first. Ask how sensor counts and recall history affect your rate. Arrive pre-approved. Let the finance manager fight to beat, not build, your APR. Read the warranty line by line. If it's not factory-backed, bank the premium instead. Cap your loan at 60 months. Own the car 2 years past payoff to outrun depreciation. Cross-check resale forecasts. A cheaper sticker can still lose more in year 5. Plan the exit. Hybrids? Budget for battery health checks. EVs. No pack replacement costs. Do that, and every mile you drive becomes a dividend on research. Money you keep for road trips, college funds, or a future upgrade that isn't chained to negative equity. So, are you ready to ditch brand myths and shop like the data-driven outlier you now are? Tap like. If this guide saved you a penny, hit subscribe for more wallet-proof car hacks. And let me know in the comments which brand surprised you most. Because the smartest driver in 2025 isn't loyal to a badge. They're loyal to their balance sheet. See you on the road.